Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of six-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 337 of the TNA Across the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr., and with me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. In Dallas, today's episode is the first impact of 2008. But while it's the first of 2008, it's the last episode of Impact before Final Resolution 2008, where we are going to have an exciting main event taking place. There's been drama regarding the two groups of the Christian Coalition and the Angle Alliance, where the Christian Coalition and Angle Alliance have kind of multiple of the same members as AJ Styles and Tomko. One moment they're in Angle Alliance, and the next moment they're in the Christian Coalition. Which way are they going to go? We don't know. But the main event for Final Resolution is Kurt Angle defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Christian Cage. And of course, we also have an Ultimate X match. And I believe we also know that Gail Kim and Awesome Kong will be going at it for the Knockouts Championship. But before we get there, we have our final episode here. Leading into it in the first one of 2008, we're going to do a rundown, brief rundown of what we saw in 2007. And then Dallas has said on numerous occasions he is quite excited because we also have the script that was leaked for this episode. So Dallas, take it away.
That script, when that comes out, when we hit play, this episode's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited about that. Final episode that was also taped in 2007 is what we are watching today, which is exciting, even though it is technically the first of 2008. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're gonna talk briefly, like Bob said, about 2007 before we really dive into it. We're gonna cover the final house shows as well, and run down some Observer Awards, and then of course we'll do some quick stat runs down of debuts, match stipulations, all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty cool. So that being said, let me tell you the card from the last show we watched, the December 27th, 2007 edition of Impact. We saw Judas Mesias defeat Senshi in 2 minutes. Could potentially be Senshi's final appearance. I'm not 100%, but we've heard the rumor he may actually appear in the beginning of 2008, but we'll see. The Motor City Machine Guns defeated AJ Styles and Tomko in 7 minutes. That was a non-title match, but a big win for the Machine Guns over the champions regardless. There was a 6 knockout tag team match where Angelina Love, Gail Kim, and Velvet Sky defeated Jackie Moore, ODB, and Roxy Laveau in 4 minutes. Elix Skipper defeated Samoa Joe by disqualification in 2 minutes, and that is because Samoa Joe's kind of got a little bit of a temper right now. He's an angry boy, and I believe he put his hands on the referee, if I remember correctly. And then in the main event, Booker T had a mystery partner. Who could it be? We were speculating the entire show. Well, it was Christian Cage, but that's okay, because they defeated Kurt Angle and Robert Roode of the Angle Alliance in 8 minutes and 30 seconds, kind of adding to all of the drama that Bob noted about the Angle Alliance situation. A lot going on with that. I do have ratings for that show here too. Let me scroll down on my page. So the TNA Impact on 12/27, it did a 1.07 rating and 1.5 million viewers. It was the second largest audience in history, even though it was not its second largest rating. Kind of weird how that works. I don't really understand, to be honest, but whatever. The show did a .69 in males 18 to 34 and .89 in males 35 to 49. Now, interesting note about this. The ECW Best of show that aired on December 25th did a .87 rating and 1.22 million viewers. So, that being said, it would mark the first time that TNA has beaten ECW in their regular time slot, which has been something of a goal of both TNA and Spike. Now, of course, using this, both the fact that it was a studio best of show and it was on Christmas night, it kind of makes the win not all that significant, really. It was the lowest ECW number in its regular time slot in history and the second lowest ever. So, we kind of hyped up that we beat it, but, it's a best of, it's on Christmas, Interesting nonetheless.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't make me watch a best of episode.
Well, I tried way back in the day and it did not work. Even though technically, so it was a best of, but there was new interviews and stuff like that. But anyways, we're past that like by 4 years or 5 years now. Oh my god, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was significantly younger.
We all were. Okay, so the only other thing that we need to talk about here before we get into the awards that the Observer did and all that is a couple house shows that got taken place. Bob, do you have those pulled up already?
I have what?
The house shows.
Oh, yeah.
The Canadian house shows. If we want, I have notes kind of related to each one of them, so we can kind of alternate here if you want to do the card rundowns, and then I'll add to it.
Okay, so I'll do these results. Now, it's 4 shows from the 27th through the 30th. December 27th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The attendance, at least here on Cage Match, is 900, and the results are as follow. Eric Young defeating James Storm. Sanjay Dutt defeated Jimmy Rave. Gail Kim and Miss Brooks teamed up to defeat Awesome Kong and Jackie Moore. Jay Lethal retained the TNA X Division Championship when he defeated Johnny Devine. Samoa Joe defeated Robert Roode. Abyss was victorious over Chris Harris. The TNA Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Tomko retained against LAX. And in the main event, Christian Cage was victorious over the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle, but by disqualification. So the title does not change hands.
Yeah, so there's some interesting stuff that it's gonna be a theme throughout a bunch of these, but I also have the number 900 fans at this show in Montreal. He does note that this whole Canadian tour consists of sold-out shows, so the local guys lost their asses, most likely aside from what we will get to, which is the final show in Oshawa, which apparently was a very successful event, but we'll get to that one when we get to there. So let's see. Yeah, that spoils how many people we draw in the last one, so I'm going to hold on to that. But anyways, that being said, the local promotion was built around that Christian Cage versus Kurt Angle for the title match. Now, this should be no surprise to you, Bob, but we are in Canada. And who works in TNA who's got some long history in Canada? Yep,
Earl
that's right.
Hebner.
Yeah, exactly. It's Earl Hebner, and they made sure they were advertising the shit out of that. Now, this is, of course, about 10 years after the whole Bret Hart Montreal Screwjob situation, right? Now, this was referenced constantly on the local TV. Every night they did a spot where Angle put Christian in the sharpshooter and teased that Hebner would ring the bell, even though Christian didn't tap. But of course, Hebner never did. As it turned out, Angle used the title belt, but Hebner saw it and DQ'd him, thus turning himself backface for making the right call. It's like an Earl Hebner redemption tour. He does it on every show, apparently.
Here's the thing. I know Canadian fans are nutty about Bret Hart. I don't think they're going to say, hey, you know what? It's all square that he made the right call at a house show for TNA.
It's so funny.
I don't think that's how it works.
Now, something funny about this, and I think I'm bringing this next point up because I think I know how we both kind of probably feel about it. But in TNA years back, to set themselves apart, they said themselves that titles can change hands via disqualification.
That's with the NWA though.
Exactly. So I agree with you, and I knew that's what we were going to say. So I think that Dave kind of misses that point when he's bringing this up, because he says, I guess they never told us the amended rule that titles can't change hands via DQ at house shows. So he's basically
Yeah, it's NWA. That's not. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think that's an
Yeah.
NWA rule, and I think it stops there.
absolutely.
But he continues saying, "Well, everyone forgot when they were booking." But the interesting part of this, so I totally agree. It's interesting because after the first night, when it came to their attention, they recognized it as a mistake, and the rest of the tour, they do pinfall finishes. They don't do the DQ finish for the match anymore. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if they just didn't want to hear the fans trashing it or what it was, but really, really weird.
I'm not that dedicated to find this out. I was definitely under the impression that was an NWA directive.
Absolutely, I was for sure. I thought it was like the championship committee, like they said it, NWA.
Right, and not TNA. And I mean, because once they got away from the NWA and it's their own titles, it's basically their own rules again.
Right. So that's kind of how I look at it as well. Now, before the DQ was called in that main event from this first night, Angle tried to use the chair shot on Christian, but Sylvain Grenier did a run-in and stopped him. Now, we noted before that Sylvain Grenier is on the French commentary team for regular Impact. We never see him, of course, but he is there, and he's Canadian. The show ended, of course, with Christian putting Angle in the sharpshooter and then Angle tapping. So he kind of they made the fans happy that they made Kurt tap out, even though he technically he didn't lose the title. Right. And then Kurt Angle posed for photos in the ring for $20. So that was really nice. Which Dave doesn't like because he's like the heel and stuff like that, and it came across so indie, but I don't really personally have an issue with it. A couple other notes quick about this show. Sylvain Grenier came out at the start of the show, kind of to talk about kind of hype up the crowd, I believe. You noted about Abyss pinning Chris Harris, I believe, already. Sometimes he makes typos, so I'm just triple checking. He won that match with Black Hole Slam. Harris did a heel promo before the match complaining about the lack of respect and how they haven't even told him his opponent. So the Abyss was like his mystery opponent, essentially. Samoa Joe choked out Robert Roode in their match. Lethal beat Divine with the elbow off the top. Gail Kim and Ms. Brooks beat Jackie Moore and Awesome Kong when Kim pinned Moore. So that's important. She didn't pin her opponent for the pay-per-view or anything like that. They did note that Brooks was a babyface here, and which she kind of is on TV, and he kind of brings that up, but was still with Rude later in the show. And then Storm came out to open the show wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. So those are just a couple quick notes about that first show.
And for the record, Kurt Angle coming out and taking pictures is in fact indie. You don't see Triple H staying after shows doing photo ops in the ring for $20.
I think it's fine, but that's because I like meeting people, so I guess that's why I don't really mind it.
Of course you do. All right, let's go to December 28th in Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. Results are as follow. TNA X Division champion Jay Lethal retained against Sanjay Dutt. Chris Harris defeated Jimmy Rave. Eric Young victorious over James Storm, who had Jackie Moore in his corner. TNA Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Tomko retained against Abyss and Samoa Joe. It's a bizarre match right there.
That's really weird.
It's very weird. LAX defeated Johnny Devine and Robert Roode in a non-title 4-way elimination match. Gail Kim defeated Awesome Kong, Jackie Moore, and Miss Brooks. The order of elimination is documented here. Jackie Moore eliminates Miss Brooks, Awesome Kong eliminates Jackie Moore, and then Gail Kim eliminated Awesome Kong to win the match. And in the main event, the TNA World Champion, Kurt Angle, defeated Christian Cage.
Yeah, so at this one, we had about 1,000 fans in attendance, and listen to who made an appearance. I was very surprised when I read this one. Rick Martel was there.
Oh.
Thought that was kind of fun. I wouldn't have expected that. Besides that, you mentioned the LAX match, where they defeated Rude and did they? Yeah, they did. They defeated Rude and Divine. This was a setup for Divine taunting Martel, who grew up in Quebec City. Martel did a run-in and made Divine tap out. And then Rude tried to attack Martel, but Sylvain Grenier jumped in and cut him off. So that's kind of fun. After that knockouts match that you mentioned, Kong beat down Gail Kim. And then, as I just noted previously in that main event, this was in fact a pinfall finish, and this one had, as he says in The Observer, the old 2000 Raw match with all the ref bumps ending with a belt shot by Angle. And those who came were into it. So it sounds like it was a pretty fun show for those who were in attendance.
Okay, let's go to December 29th. How did you pronounce it?
I honestly don't know how to say this city right. How did I say it before off air? That I don't even know if it was correct. Gatineau or something.
Gatineau, we'll say
something
Gatineau,
like
Quebec,
that.
Canada. The results are the following: TNA X Division champion Jay Lethal retained in a three-way against Johnny Devine and Sanjay Dutt. Chris Harris defeated Jimmy Rave. Gail Kim and Miss Brooks teamed up to defeat Awesome Kong and Jackie Moore. James Storm defeated Eric Young. TNA Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Tomko retained against LAX. Abyss defeating Hannibal, which I believe we all know who that is. Samoa Joe defeated Robert Roode, and in the main event, the TNA World Champion Kurt Angle defeated Christian Cage.
Okay, so this one, we had about 700 fans listed here. They had the same Angle Christian match with the belt shot by Angle and pin after the ref bumps, so nothing different there. Joe used the choke on Rude, which shouldn't really be a surprise. And Styles used some trunks to pin Homicide in that match with LAX against the champions there. Now, the big undercard deal on this one, so the last one we had Rick Martel. This one, we had a local TV weatherman named, I'm going to butcher his last name here, probably Bill Welchka. And he came out to manage Gail Kim in the Knockouts tag team match. And when the Faces won that match, after, Kong gave him a swinging back fist and a big splash. Which is so funny. She was super safe with him, though, it's noted, and he sold it big and was carried to the back. So, pretty good. Hebner had a pretty major heel reaction, with lots of people yelling about Bret Hart and selling bootleg t-shirts, and did so every time that he came out. Eventually, Eric Young ripped Hebner's ref shirt off to reveal a TNA 100% Canadian-made t-shirt. And then in the Jimmy Rave versus Chris Harris match, the top rope broke, but luckily they fixed it after the match. And also an interesting note, Ms. Brooks was actually announced as Tracy Brooks when she wrestled, but later in the show, when Rude wrestled, she was back to being Ms. Brooks. So we may start to see her name officially change away from that Ms. Brooks here soon on TV, maybe.
All right, interesting. All right, December 30th, the final one of this tour in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And I did not click on the results. Here are the results of the show. In a four-way elimination match for the TNA X Division Championship, the TNA X Division Champion Jay Lethal defeated Jimmy Rave, Johnny Devine, and Sanjay Dutt. Eliminations were as follows. Johnny Devine eliminates Jimmy Rave, Sanjay Dutt eliminates Johnny Devine, and then Jay Lethal eliminated Sanjay Dutt. Eric Young defeating James Storm. Gail Kim and Miss Brooks defeating Awesome Kong and Jackie Moore. TNA Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Tomko retained against LAX. Abyss defeated Chris Harris in a no disqualification match. Samoa Joe defeating Robert Roode. And in the main event, the TNA World Champion Kurt Angle retaining against Christian Cage.
Okay, so this one. So this city, Oshawa, is about 30 minutes outside of Toronto. And Dave notes that Toronto may be their best wrestling city in North America, at least at this time, and hasn't had a major league show in forever. They drew 2,800 fans, and the crowd was super hot all night. So that's very good, even if you compare it to the other shows on this tour. Reports were it was a super show as well. They were so happy that at the show, Jeremy Borash and Christian Cage were both talking about doing a pay-per-view from the city. The crowd was super hot, and every review said that it was a great show. That match where Lethal one ended with Lethal pinning Dutt, but then after the match, Divine stole the X Division title and ran off, trying to keep that story going that they have on TV. Eric Young did a deal where he sang the Canadian national anthem before his match every night during the tour. Earl Hebner had more heat here than any of the other cities. In fact, his reaction was said to be disappointing considering how hard they tried to play off the Montreal and other cities. The Styles and Tomko defeating LAX again. Apparently, it's noted that it was an incredible match with 15 minutes of incredible moves. Styles took a real bad bump, but I think for the finish of the match. In the Abyss and Harris match, I think the singles match, the no disqualification, they used thumbtacks, so that's fun on a house show. And Abyss cut up his wrists punching a chair during this one. Rude insulted the crowd early since he's from the area and didn't want to be cheered against Joe, which is also kind of interesting because I feel like Joe's kind of a jerk on TV, but it's interesting.
Yeah, but he's not being a jerk towards the fans. He's being a
right.
jerk
That's true. That's true.
On that.
That's true. And Joe led the crowd in chanting pay-per-view after the match. So even Dave notes it here. I didn't even highlight this part, but he says, so at house shows, Joe is a company man and exactly the opposite for his TV gimmick. So that's kind of funny. And then Angle pinned Cage again, as Bob already noted. Ref bumps, fake Montreal tease. Styles grabbed the chair from Angle, but Angle used the belt shot for the pin. So instead of Sylvain Grenier, it was AJ in this case, which plays a lot more into what you're seeing on TV as well. So it's kind of fun.
Now, do they end up going to Toronto at all? Do you think? Do you know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I'm really not sure. I mean, yes, eventually, but I don't know. I don't know if in 2008, for example.
I'm thinking 2009 they might.
Well, that's not too bad of a turnaround then to try to get it planned out. So
well, maybe they do. You know what? I think they do go to Canada in 2008. On paper.
Well, that's very exciting. I hope they do. Yeah, I'm not 100% off the top of my head though. But yeah, that's the pre-show notes here. We'll have a couple during the show in between while we're reading the script, but it's nothing major. So let's do our quick year in review here to finish off 2007 officially. So Bob, I'm actually going to start off with we're going to go down some Wrestling Observer awards, and actually I have the estimated North American pay-per-view buys for all the pay-per-views for the year as well, which is kind of cool. Which is not something I expected to see here. So I'll go down those really quick first. Now, it is important to note that TNA does not release buy rate information. These numbers are very rough estimates based on a variety of information, Dave says. But because the numbers are small, they're not tracked closely, and these are the best rough estimates. And actually, I don't even. Oh, they're in order by how many there are. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom just to make it more fun. Victory Road, which was the Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe versus Team 3D match, was the main event. 15,000 buys. No Surrender with Kurt Angle versus Abyss, 17,000. Sacrifice with Kurt Angle versus Sting versus Christian Cage, 21,000. The Slammiversary show, which of course is main evented by King of the Mountain. In that case, it was Kurt, Joe, Styles, Cage, and Chris Harris, 22,000. Against All Odds with Christian Cage and Kurt Angle, 23,000. Hard Justice with Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, 26,000. Genesis with Kurt teaming with Kevin Nash versus Booker T and Sting, 27,000. And that was when Booker was...
I was going to say Booker was a mystery part.
He's mystery, of course. Final Resolution, Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle, 34,000. Lockdown, which was Team Angle versus Team Cage, 35,000. Turning Point, which was Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle, was 35,000. Bound for Glory, Sting versus Kurt Angle, huge match, got 36,000. And also tied at first, Destination X, Samoa Joe and Christian Cage, 36,000. That's kind of where we tapped out. And of course, like I said, those are rough estimates, but pretty cool to see.
Yeah, now when you list them like that, though, it sounds very little.
Right, and I think there's important to note here at the bottom, it says, pay-per-view business did decline because last year, few shows did even top 50,000. So we're gaining a larger weekly television audience with the 2 hours too, but our pay-per-view business is declining. It's interesting to see that play out. But that's just making that people don't want to buy the show. It's just how it is. Okay, we are going to go through the Wrestling Observer Awards. Now, if you want to read this in its entirety, we are only calling out where TNA is falling into these, and if Bob has a question on who is number one, I will tell him as well, if it's not a TNA match or wrestler. And then we will talk about some of our favorites throughout 2007 as well. This is from the January 21st, 2008 Observer newsletter. We are going to start off with the Wrestler of the Year Award, which is also labeled the Luthez Ric Flair Award. Now, there is 10 people in slots, and the only TNA inclusion in this one, Bob, is Kurt Angle, and he lands in spot number 9. And I believe, if I'm looking at the numbers correctly, he got about 202 votes. So there's no other TNA representation here for Wrestler of the Year, but I think Kurt is a pretty solid one to be included in the list.
I'm not even really surprised by that.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, you could maybe put an argument for like Samoa Joe could be there. I mean, even if we're just talking about just TNA, but he probably could be up there. But Kurt Angle had a killer year. I mean, if we're thinking about just TNA alone, I think it'd be hard to argue that Kurt's not the Wrestler of the Year, right? I mean, I don't know if anyone else comes to mind for you, but
no, I mean, maybe Road Warrior Animal.
okay, I'm moving on to the next one. Yeah, I'm not going to argue the Kurt Angle thing. So, the Most Outstanding Wrestler Award. TNA only hits one spot in this one as well, with 375 votes. It's a guy I just mentioned, Samoa Joe, in the number 6 spot.
Okay,
now just
wait, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So there's Wrestler of the Year and then Most Outstanding Wrestler of the Year?
Yeah, that's correct.
What the fuck is the difference?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know.
Is Wrestler of the Year just in terms of like accolades and stuff, and then Outstanding would be...
Well, so here, let me give you a little other context here with who was on the list. How about that? Maybe that'll kind of help us understand a little bit better.
For Outstanding?
I'll even go back to the wrestler right now. So the Wrestler of the Year, from top to bottom, it goes John Cena, Bryan Danielson, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shawn Michaels. Oh God, I'm gonna really mess this one up. Takeshi Morishima, Mystico, Mitsuharu Masawa, Cybernetico, Kurt Angle, and Edge. So that is the whole list of the Wrestler of the Year awards. So John Cena won.
So 2007. That's gotta be like winning championships and like...
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, Most Outstanding Wrestler, we start off with... It must be like more of the who, like in ring action wise, because
like star ratings, it has to be.
Because number 1 is Bryan Danielson, number 2 Shawn Michaels, then it's Hiroshi Tanahashi, then it's Marufuji, Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe at number 6, 7 is Kenta, then it's Morishima again at number 8, Edge at 9, and then 10 is John Cena.
It's gotta be.
So pretty interesting. Now the next category, I actually don't have anyone in TNA here, but I wanted to see what Bob thinks it could be the feud of the year that we saw in 2007 for TNA. There's no TNA feuds listed. A couple come to mind for me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like give me a memory boost here.
Chris Harris, James Storm. It was
Okay.
super
Yeah.
heated. Now we the crazy thing about that feud, and we're gonna circle back to this. They had maybe the worst match we saw this year, and potentially the best match we saw this year
Sure.
during the feud. So, but it was a very well done feud, except the one match. But that's okay. I understand why they did what they did too. Um, the other one that comes to mind for me, that I'd personally maybe throw in there is Kurt Angle and Sting leading to Bound for Glory. It was, I thought, very, very well done.
Yeah, that's true too.
There's a really tense, um,
He fucking attacked his son in the parking lot.
the son, and then when he's attacking him in the ring, like screaming at him, like it was really well done. I think for me, it's those two. I know we saw Kurt and Samoa Joe again, but I mean, it kind of carried over really, but it's a
I
really
was gonna
good feud
say
though.
the
It's really
Kurt
good.
and Joe. I mean, they had their first match in 2006, but I mean, the majority of that is 2007.
Yeah, and it was really, really good. So I don't know if I can personally pick just one when you name stuff like that. I know Bob is maybe thinking it's Angle Alliance against the Christian Coalition.
No, I'm not thinking that.
No, I know.
I'm actually really liking the Harrison Storm one because I'm a sucker for long-term stories, and
And it was.
Harris going blind and being off television for
Hmm.
at least a couple of months, and even when he came back on, it was like, oh, I might not be able to wrestle again. And yeah, I mean the blindfold match was really not great at all, but they made up for it and then some with
Absolutely.
not only sacrifice, but then they had a fucking amazing match on Impact too.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I think that could very well be the like in terms of week to week storytelling, the best storyline for 2007 TNA.
Yeah, I think it could be. You could also throw in your favorite of Robert Roode and Eric Young.
Oh my god.
It just
Yeah.
it's still being told.
Yeah, has yet to conclude.
Right. The next category, we do actually land a really solid place in this one, and then a couple honorable mentions. It is the Tag Team of the Year, and we make the number 2 spot with Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley getting over 1,000 votes. So, uh,
Really?
yeah, very big placing for them. And then in the honorable mentions, Homicide and Hernandez with LAX, and AJ Styles and Tomko even get an honorable mention.
Aren't Sabin and Shelley like fairly new put together in TNA?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if this is also carried over from. I mean, you got to know the people voting are smart
They're
fans,
I was gonna say the Indies too. It has to be.
but still got to count it. We're TNA guys, and actually,
No, for sure. No, I count it.
technically, it's not a TNA team, but Tomko does make a spot here with Giant Bernard in the number 4 spot as well. So
That does not
is
surprise me.
one half TNA. And if you're curious who the number 1 is in this case, it's Mark and Jay Briscoe.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Crime Time.
Nope, they are not on the list.
Damn it!
Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch are though. But anyway,
Really? In 2007?
number 7 spot. Yeah. Yep.
Holy shit! I thought that team was like 2005 and 6. Not
Yeah, I know. So
2007.
so did I.
Wow.
The next cat, and well, I guess I mean I don't know who else I would add. I really liked LAX, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, of course. Like I don't disagree with anything that was said here. Not as far as teams, we were kind of slim on like true
Team
tag
3
teams. I feel
Team
like
3D? Team 3D is not on there at all?
no, because they're not that good.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just surprised that they wouldn't even get
Right?
any
No,
recognition.
not even an honorable mention or nothing.
Good. Fuck 'em.
Then yeah, right. The next category we also land on most improved in the number 3 spot is Tomko. And then in the
Okay.
honorable mentions, we have Jay Lethal, James Storm, and Robert Roode also all get thrown into there. So once again, I feel like
I'm kind of surprised that the KZ wasn't on there.
that'd be a good one. Honestly, of people we've seen in TNA, I think that would definitely fit very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like an interesting category there. Um, in the next category, the best on interviews, we also land a spot and also have some honorable mentions. In the number 6 spot is Christian Cage. I was trying to think of a funny Christian Cage saying to say to introduce that, but I could not think of it fast enough. In the honorable mentions, we have Kurt Angle, Jim Cornette, and Jim Mitchell all land into this category as well.
You could have said, if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah, see, that would have been good. I was thinking of something about his peeps, and it just didn't come to me fast enough. It couldn't come out.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I like Father James Mitchell, but the past year with his promos and Chris, all his promos
yeah.
are just the same story. It's not like
No, you're
really
totally right.
captivating.
I feel like I would honestly put Samoa Joe into this category, at least in the TNA world, because his screaming and his anger.
I don't like that. It's just the same promo.
Yeah, but I can feel it when he gets on screen and starts yelling. I'm like, I gotta listen to what he's saying.
This fucking guy will look into the camera, and he could be fighting fucking Delirious in a squash match, and he'll be like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. I don't fucking know who you are. I'm gonna fucking rip your face off."
Yeah, I
He'll
think
do the
that's
same promo for when Kurt Angle tries to break this girl's fucking ankle, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Well, you know
It's
what?
like,
I'd fucking put
yeah.
Kurt Angle on here because he's fucking hilarious.
Kurt Angle for sure. Absolutely.
He's in an honorable mention, but in if we're talking just TNA, Kurt Angle. Come on.
Kurt Angle
So
absolutely
funny.
should be out there. I agree with
So funny. Well, the next category, we don't actually technically place, but we have an honorable mention, and that is the most charismatic. And guess who it is? It's Kurt Angle. And it's probably exactly what we were just talking about. But how sad is it that Christian Cage isn't? He's. I feel like that it's another C, charismatic, and he can't even place.
Yeah, he's not even on an honorable mention.
No.
That doesn't seem right.
I know. Captain Charisma can't even place in the charismatic category. But I mean, Kurt Angle's a really solid one for that as well. And speaking of Kurt Angle, once again, the best technical wrestler category, Kurt Angle places in the 6th spot, and then Samoa Joe places in the 10th spot. Now, this is kind of opening up that question of technical wrestler, most outstanding, best wrestler, like what? I guess this is category specific of technical versus like a brawling or something like that, but it's just kind of funny because guess who number 1 is?
Kurt Angle.
No, I just said Kurt Angle's number 6.
Oh, well, the best technical wrestler. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, it's Bryan Danielson. So I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as the outstanding.
These awards are very repetitive.
They tend to be, and that's why I'm kind of flying through them right now. The next one is the Bruiser Brody Memorial Award, or the Best Brawler. Samoa Joe lands at the number 3 spot. Abyss is the number 8th spot, and then Rhino is in the 10th spot. So those are all some TNA inclusions. No Relic, no Black Rain, unfortunately. Raven kind of took a back seat
on there?
No, he is not. It's actually kind of oh wait, yes he is. I'm sorry, he is. I totally skipped him. He's in the number 5 spot.
Okay.
Yes, so Necro Butcher is on the list. So is John Cena and The Undertaker and Umaga. So it's kind of it's an interesting list.
John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena is in number 7. John Cena is on these awards quite a bit.
For the Bruiser Brody?
Yeah, the Best Brawler Award, dude. John Cena's number 7. The person who won it, in case you're wondering, is Morishima, who we've mentioned a few times already. And Umaga is in the 2nd spot.
Okay, those make sense. Cena?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next up is the Best Flying Wrestler. And in the number 4 spot is the only TNA inclusion, which is AJ Styles. There is no other honorable mentions or anything like that, but AJ, of course, is quite good, and it makes a lot of sense why he would be included in this list. I don't know if there's anyone that you could think about who you think could be AJ Styles from TNA as far as the best flying wrestler award, but I think that's
what place was he in?
Number 4. If you're curious, Mystico,
Yeah, I was gonna say Mystico.
Ricky Marvin, and Jack Evans are the places above him. And then after AJ, in the number 5th spot is Pac, then Matt Sydal, Jeff Hardy, Matt Cross, Dragon Kid, and Rey Mysterio. And then you have some other big names in the honorable mentions like Ishimori, Kota Ibushi, Laredo Kid, Kenta, Marufuji, Paul London, Teddy Hart, Jimmy Wang Yang. So there's quite a list of people here. Yeah, it's a range. I'm just surprised to not see more TNA wrestlers, like X Division stars in this, even in the honorable mentions. But I mean, even the Machine Guns separately, you could put into this category.
For high fly, I mean, I don't think
not?
I really consider. I don't think Alex Shelley's really a high flyer.
Okay, Okay, I guess Shelley's not.
And then like Lethal doesn't.
What about
really
like Sanjay Dutt?
Does the elbow? Sanjay, yes, I could. Sanjay probably.
No, Lethal. I don't think Lethal. Shark Boy. No kidding.
I'm trying to think of other.
That's kind of why I think like AJ makes sense here.
AJ absolutely makes sense.
And he did win it.
Kaz.
He won it in 2005 as well. AJ.
Well, right.
So
Kaz could be on there because he sometimes does the flux capacitor.
Kaz could be an honorable mention, I think, for sure.
I mean, we're kind of past the era of like
Super
Amazing Red and Jason Cross and all those guys doing just insane stuff off the top rope.
No, you're right. Well, the next category is a fun one, and it is the most overrated award. And we we come in the number 8 and 9 spot. Number 8 would be the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, and in number 9 spot is Kevin Nash.
For most overrated, Kurt Angle is on the list.
Isn't that kind of wild? That's kind of crazy.
What in the world are people talking about?
I don't know.
Kevin Nash is whatever, but I mean, Kurt Angle is nothing about him is overrated. What are
I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's crazy.
I think that sounds like people who are just mad that he left WWE
or something, or like annoyed that people won't shut up about him or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a weird one to me. Like. And then the next one is the most underrated, and we have a few slots on this one. Alex Shelley comes in at number 4. AJ Styles comes in at number 9. Christopher Daniels at number 10, and then Senshi makes it into the honorable mentions, and so does Robert Roode. So a few different people making it into the most underrated. Which, I don't know, is AJ Styles underrated?
Probably not. They might be mistaking underrated for like underutilized.
I could see that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I recently had a discussion with someone, and it was one of those things where it's like they were like, hey, I think this person's underrated, and I was like, I think they're properly rated, whatever that even means, because it's like some of that you can't just say it just because you're not happy with how they're being used.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's a big category up next, Bob, and it is Promotion of the Year. And yes, TNA does place in the Promotion of the Year award. Now, is it number 1 spot? No.
No.
Is it the number 2 spot?
Of course not.
No. Is it the number 3 spot?
No.
No. What about 4, 5, or 6?
No. Is it the 9th spot or 10th spot? Probably.
It's actually the 10th spot. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to tell you all of them just for fun.
Of all the there's 10 major promotions.
I'm going to tell you everything.
Where does TNA land? 10th.
I'm going to tell you everything that's apparently better than TNA. You got UFC.
Oh wait, hang on a minute. I'm going to guess right now.
Oh, okay.
Just one promotion. That OVW is ahead of them.
Okay, well, let me give you the rundown. We got UFC as number 1, Ring of Honor number 2, WWE 3, Pro Wrestling Noah is 4, 5 is AAA, 6 is CMLL, 7 is New Japan, 8 is Dragon Gate, and 9 Strike Force. So unfortunately, Bob, you're wrong. But
Damn it!
I like the idea. It's a good idea.
I want to say like 2005 OVW was up there.
I do think you're right. I think you're right. The next category is very similar. It is the best weekly.
Oh wait, ECW is not on there.
No, it does not.
Oh,
Unless
so TNA is better than ECW.
Yeah, I mean, unless you count that just in the WWE thing. But listen, the next category is the best weekly TV show. So
they better be at least in the middle of the pack there.
Is it number 1? No, it is not.
Oh no.
Is it number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9? No, it is not. It is the number 10 spot again.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'll run down this for you as well since you just did the last one. It's the Ultimate Fighter in the first spot, Raw in second, SmackDown in third.
Wait, what? The Ultimate Fighter? That's not a wrestling show.
It's a combat sport, I guess.
That's a fucking competition. Like
I agree. I agree. But
it's like a reality. That's like a reality TV.
I know.
That's insane.
I don't disagree.
Put it.
I'm just the messenger. AAA is in the 4th spot. CMLL is 5th. Number 6 is like Wrestling Society X.
What?
Number 7 is Pro Wrestling Noah. Number 8 is Inside MMA. I don't know how that even counts on here.
What?
Number 9 is Bodog Fight Costa Rica, and then 10 is TNA Impact. And actually, those two are...
What the? What is Bodog Costa Rica?
Those are actually tied, by the way. Those are actually tied. Those two. So TNA is technically tied for 9th. Now, in the honorable mentions is New Japan, and ECW does appear in the honorable mention for that one.
Raw wasn't on the list?
Raw was number 2. So if you take out Ultimate Fighter. Okay, Bob, the best worked match of the year. Now, unfortunately, TNA does not make it into the top 10 voted matches of the year. But there is a couple in the honorable mentions. So in honorable mentions, we have Chris Harris and James Storm from, I believe this is the Sacrifice match, if I'm remembering the...
Has to be.
5/13. And then Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle from December 10th. Or wait, yeah, December 10th? Is that the date? That date, he's got the date fucked up here. So I don't know which one it is.
I mean, his grading period could be December of 2006 to November of 2007.
Well, it says, okay, that might make sense then, actually. And so, this being said, I mean, I'm opening to, if we want to kind of throw some back and forth, I did look back at all of our star ratings, because we kept track during all the pay-per-views this year. And there's one match we gave 5 stars to.
Storm and Harris.
And it's Storm and Harris. So, to me, that's our best match of the year.
Yeah, it has to be.
Some others that I saw came close, I believe, was the King of the Mountain match. I think we gave it a pretty... Where did it go? Yeah, we both gave that one 4 stars as well.
Well, you give almost every match at minimum 3, so you will have a lot.
No, that's not true.
Like close ones.
I also had another close one. Or no, that's 3 3/4. I thought it said 4 3/4. Never mind. I mean, that's not even worth talking about, I feel like, because it's not super high. There was another one I saw. Oh, the Christian Cage versus Kaz ladder match. Both gave 4 stars to that as well.
That was a good match.
So,
what did we give Joe and Cage at Destination X? 3.5?
Hang on, let me go to it. Destination X, Joe and Cage. Yeah, 3.5 each. So, I mean, a really solid match. Still.
That's solid, yeah.
And you gave 4 stars to the Lethal Lockdown, Team Angle versus Team Cage. I gave it 3 3/4. So I liked it a lot as well. So there's definitely some big highlights throughout the year. But that Texas Death Match at Sacrifice,
yeah,
I don't know if you can really debate it. I mean, it was quite good. So
easily.
Okay, up next, the best non-wrestler. We do place on this one as well. In the number 3 spot is Jim Cornette. Number 4 is Jim Mitchell. Number 6 is Charmel. Now that's probably more, I would assume, of what she was doing on WWE versus in TNA, but she's here now, so it counts. And number 7 is Karen Angle. And then in the honorable mentions is Kevin Nash.
Well, Karen should be higher than what she is.
Absolutely.
I'd put her above fucking Jim Cornette.
Karen Angle is, I think, easily the best non-wrestler in TNA.
Yeah, that's not an outlandish thing to say.
Also, Conan does place in honorable mentions, but I can't quite remember if did he leave in 2007? I can't remember when he actually left. So I'll say it just so it's said, but I can't quite remember when he was actually off our.
He had to, because he was there for the electrified cage.
Oh, well, there you go. So there you go. I said it.
Right?
No, I think he was.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Next up, the best television announcer. Well, we only got a couple, and one of them does place here, and that is Mike Tenay in the number 8 spot. And then, right. I always hate bringing this one up. Unfortunately, we also place in the worst television announcer category. In the number 1 spot is Don West.
No, that's bullshit.
And in number 5 is Mike Tenay.
What?
And then, I forgot this one. It's on the next page. Number 10, Letitia Klein. So, I just don't agree with this.
No way. Here's the Don West. I will say at the time, in 2007 or whatever, 2008, even earlier, I guess, he was never annoying in the sense of like, oh my god, my ears are bleeding. But it was like, this guy is freaking out over an arm drag. But the fact of the matter is that he wasn't a wrestling guy. So when he would see these guys do an arm drag or whatever, especially in 2002 and all this stuff,
right?
That's like a genuine, well, maybe not genuine, but like, he's hyping it up, but he's also probably legitimately impressed with what he's seeing.
Right.
He's not fucking Tony Schiavone who's just numb to a Scorpion death drop that he's seen 400 times in a year or whatever.
Yeah, totally. I completely disagree with him being listed here. I think when he first starts, kind of what you're saying, I think a lot of people weren't used to that and probably had to get used to it. But Mike and Don as a duo is fantastic, and I think it sucks to see people voting Don as a worst announcer. I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And what I'm getting at is that later on, even when he was done like commentating, he's became, I think, more favorable to wrestling fans, and certainly after his death, I think people have really shown their appreciation for Don's enthusiasm.
Yeah,
for wrestling.
Interestingly enough, under that best announcer category that we saw, I just noticed this. Tenay and Jim Ross have been trading that almost back and forth. Jim Ross had it for quite a few years in a row, but since '97 to here in 2007, it's been both of them going back and forth.
Number 1?
Yeah, so I'll just tell you here. In '97, Mike Tenay got the number 1 spot. Then it was Jim Ross from '98 to 2001. Then Tenay from 2002 to 2005. Then Jim Ross in 2006 and 2007.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think
what's really funny is that Tenay in '97 was basically commentating one match on a show. It'd be like the cruiserweights. It'd be like, oh, here's Super Gallo. Let me tell you what he's done for 6 minutes. And then he won the announcer of the year for that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Really, really crazy.
That's insane.
The best major wrestling show. Now, we do not place in the main 10 for this one, but Bound for Glory does make it into the honorable mentions. It was a huge show. I think it's fitting.
Yeah.
We don't need to go through all the other ones for that one. We'll keep it moving here. Now, unfortunately, we do make it into the worst major wrestling show a couple times. And by a couple, I mean 4.
Really?
4 times.
Oh, no.
Now, I'll say that
a quarter of our pay-per-views are shit.
There wasn't a lot of votes on these ones, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But in the number 2 spot was Lockdown in April. only with 134 votes. So like when you compare it to the other things, it's really not crazy voted on in this category. But
Did we hate Lockdown?
well, asking you shall
As a
receive. I could
show?
pull it up and let you know right now. I do not think we did, but I don't want to lie, so I'm pulling it up. Hold on. Lockdown. Well, we were in the middle. So maybe we.
Okay, so that's not shit then.
No, it's not shit. And if it makes you feel better, December to Dismember was number 1. Well,
of course.
Right. In the number 4 spot was Hard Justice from August. And you did not like that show. I was in the middle even. So there's that. The number 6 spot was Victory Road from July. For that one, I liked it. You were more in the middle. And then in the number 7 spot was Final Resolution, which was in the beginning of the show, and we both liked that show. So that's how that goes. The next one, we can kind of speed through some of these other ones here. The Best Wrestling Maneuver, Petey Williams, Canadian Destroyer, gets in at the number 3 spot, and Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster in the number 7 spot. Those are the only ones we got there. The Most Disgusting Promotional Tactic. I always get a kick out of the title of this award because it's just disgusting. You could probably make a real good guess about what this could be, couldn't you, Bob?
2000. Well, they didn't capitalize on the Benoit thing, did they?
Nope, not that one.
Oh, Vince's death?
Oh no, I'm talking about for TNA.
Oh, for TNA.
Which I will say is the number 1 spot. Vince's death is number 2.
So TNA's number 1, whatever their promotional thing.
What was the most controversial thing we did this year?
Not Kurt Angle beating up this kid.
No, it was the signing of Pac-Man Jones. And
oh shit!
And then when they made it, he made it rain on the pay-per-view. Yeah, so that was number 1.
I literally forgot about Pac-Man.
Well, because it's literally like. I also I'll just mention this because I think it's like kind of crazy that it's even on here. In the number 6 spot is WWE doing a Benoit tribute show, as if they knew what was happening yet, as if they purposely were like, oh yeah.
Right. Well, I think what hurts them there is that they didn't know, but I think within like an hour of the show starting, they're like, "Oh fuck, we shouldn't have done this."
Oh well, that's bad. Well, whatever. What can you?
Yeah.
The next category is the worst television show. Now we were number 10 we were the top 10 of the best. So where do you think that we could have landed possibly in the worst?
1.
That's right, TNA Impact. The number 1 worst television show. What? It's crazy. No. It's crazy.
What in the world?
Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
Check the votes. Somebody check the votes.
It's crazy.
This is not right.
And we also get the coveted Worst Match of the Year award, which it's the Chris Harris and James Storm blindfold match.
Yeah.
So that happened. Unfortunately, though, people are saying that it's worse than the fake Donald Trump versus fake Rosie O'Donnell match.
Oh no!
So that's not good. That's pretty bad. But guess what? We didn't make it just into 1 spot for the worst match. We made it into 2. The other one you would never guess in a million years, but it was when Christy Hemme fought the fat oily guy. Tiny the timekeeper in February.
There's no way.
But that made it into the number 9 spot. The worst feud of the year is up next. We covered the best already. Eric Young and Robert Roode came in at number 3.
Hey, good.
Sorry, I actually skipped right over this one on accident. Number 2 was VKM versus Christy Hemme. Then it's Eric Young, Robert Roode in 3. I skipped it because I think VKM, when I read this initially, I thought it was talking about like Vince. And I was like, nah, that's not right.
Right.
And then in number 9 spot, it was Abyss versus Black Rain. Okay, next.
This Black Rain one hasn't been bad.
I would actually kind of agree. I don't think it's really that bad. I think it's
Not
fine.
bad.
Next is the worst promotion of the year. Now, of course, we place on this because we were in the top 10 of the best
And we were number one at the worst.
of the worst weekly show. So, what do you think? Do you think we're topped out at the worst promotion of the year?
I'm gonna hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is.
Yeah, we did. We're number one, baby. Worst promotion
Oh,
of the year.
fucking hell.
I don't know how that's accurate, but there it is.
Is it like shit like Pac-Man that people are just like, this is bullshit?
It's
like,
gotta
how
be.
dare you?
It's gotta be. But we won by like significant 520 votes. WWE is number 2 with 42 votes. I mean, that is a
Hang on, wait a minute. TNA had how many votes?
520. In WWE,
In WWE
for number 2 spot was at 42. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
What?
It's crazy. Next is the best gimmick category. We placed here a couple times. Now, one of which technically is not a gimmick in TNA, but he works with.
If you say King Booker, that don't count.
It's in TNA though, so I'm just mentioning it. I'm just mentioning it. But that's number 8.
Can't take credit for it.
That's number 8. I know we're not taking credit. I'm just telling you because he exists in our universe now. Number 2 is the Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. Unfortunately, he was beaten out by Santino Marella. But anyway, in the number 10 spot is Awesome Kong. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, we're going to switch right into the worst gimmick award, and we land here a couple times as well, including the number 1 spot with Black Rain. Number 3 with Pac-Man Jones. Number 6 with VKM. Number 7 with Abyss. Number 8 with Fat Oily Guy, which I don't even know why that's a thing that's on this list, but whatever. And then in the honorable mentions, Relic makes an appearance.
Oh,
I know.
I was really hoping that you weren't going to say Relic, which is killer spelled backwards.
That's right, it is. That is our final Observer Newsletter award that we're going to talk about, but I am going to give you my favorite part of this, which is where we run down all the fun stuff.
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you all the debuts and all that. Now, that all being said, actually, before, because I'm going to forget if I don't just tell you this now. Total throughout all the shows we watched, Bob, we gave 53 thumbs up, 4 thumbs in the middle, and 7 thumbs down as a unit, as an average. That means there were a total of 64 shows. That's impacts and pay-per-views. And as always, we've recorded more time than Bob wants to admit, which is over 120 hours of content with TNA.
Yeah. That's fucking
so.
Great.
This is the best part. Who made their debut in TNA? And Bob, if you think of anyone that I forget, feel free to speak up. If we think we need to fact check, we can. Now, there are a couple that are technically dark matches, so it's like we didn't really see them.
We have to have seen them on our screen.
I agree with that, so I won't bring those ones up.
Count that.
Because I don't think... But the only reason I have them on here is I don't know if they were dark matches that were on pre-shows or not, but we'll just ignore it. Okay. We had Karen Jarrett. The Heartbreakers, Antonio Thomas, and Romeo.
Oh, shit. I forgot about the Heartbreakers.
Technically...
Oh, that means Damager and Bash. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I forgot about Damager and Basham.
Well, that's next, Damager and Basham. I believe Johnny Rodz made his actual debut. He was brought up, but I think that one I'm not 100%. We might need a fact check, but I don't really have a good way to do that.
I'm pretty sure. Johnny Rodz? Yeah, because he was getting murdered in the fucking restaurant.
Yeah. In the school thing. Tiger Mask, Hector Guerrero, Roxy Laveau, Black Rain, which is technically more of a gimmick than a actual debut.
That counts. It's a gimmick.
I think it counts because it's very different. Do you remember Andrew Martin making his debut? That's pretty crazy.
The Punisher.
Yeah. Pac-Man Jones, Judas Macias, Junior Fatu. We don't technically have her real name yet, but the number 1 fan of the Robert Roode fan club made her debut. She just appears in the crowd all the time. Awesome Kong. Rashid Lucius Creed made his TNA debut in 2007 as well, and apparently might be signed, we're told at some point, but he just exists right now. ODB. Talia Madison, Velvet Sky. Of course, she switched her name. And don't forget, Angelina Love did appear years back, so she does not count in this list.
That's right.
Shelly Martinez made her debut as well. Alexa Jade, Relic. There's a Japanese guy, and I have no idea how to say this guy's name, so I'm going to try it. Yeah, it's going to be wrong, but I'm going to try it. I think it's Koi Sumowama or something. He appeared backstage.
With Muda.
Was it with the Muda situation? I can't quite remember. Well, because I guess Muda also technically made his debut, right? I don't think we saw him before, did we?
No.
So Muda's here as well. And then Crystal, the backstage interviewer, we had her make her debut after Letitia. I don't think Letitia did. I think Letitia was here last year. Then we had Booker T and Charmel, of course. And then, funny enough, the final debut of 2007 was Bushwhacker Luke at the Eric Young holiday party. We actually only had a few tournaments this year, which I know really upsets Bob because he really likes tournaments. We had the Paparazzi Championship Series, which I think was mostly, it kind of carried over from late 2006, if I remember correctly. So it's not the full thing, but it still was in 2007. We had the Fight for the Right tournament, and we had the Turkey Bowl, which is also technically a tournament. That all took place in 2007. And okay, are you ready for this? This is the stipulation part, and it's a lot. Vince Russo is definitely back, and he is writing these. I'm going to leave some of them out once we break a match that happened more than like 6 times, unless it's like a true stipulation. I'm not mentioning it, but we had a.
Wait a minute. You're listing every stipulation match that the company had
in 2007.
So you're gonna be like steel cage, lockdown.
Well, no. I'm gonna say it. I'll tell you how many if there's more than one.
Okay, so you'd be like steel cage times 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they're different, we'll get there because they're locked out.
No, right? Yeah.
There's a street fight. There's a tag team street fight. There's 4 four-way dances. There's a last man standing match. 30-minute Iron Man match. There's a 3-way elimination match. Little Italy tag team street fight. Motor City chain, nightstick, and key on a pole match, a tuxedo match, a base brawl match, the prison yard match, holy throwback, the Gauntlet for the Gold Battle Royal, lumberjack tag team match. We had a number 1 contendership ladder match. That's just a singles one, I think. I'm skipping that one. Tag team ghetto street fight, the double bull rope tag team match, crossface chicken wing match. Another did that really happen in 2007? Best 2 out of 3 falls match, Elevation X, the Last Rites match, which is another, I still can't believe that was this year, the Escape match, the 8 Mile Street Fight, a submission match. We had 4 mixed tag team matches. Now, we had, of course, the 6 Sides of Steel, and 8 of them take place at Lockdown, but there's an elimination steel cage match, a special referee 6 Sides of Steel, the blindfold steel cage match, electrified steel cage match, and of course the lethal lockdown with special enforcer, also at Lockdown. There was a 4-way tag team match, a knockout street fight. There was a number 1 contender tag team match, which I don't know why that's listed on here. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why I put that here. There's a 2-on-1 handicap match, a 3-way tag team match. 2 of those took place. Or 3 maybe, if I'm remembering. There's the Texas Death Match, First Blood match. There was roughly 4 to 5 8-man tag team matches. There's the Freedom match, which was the Eric Young, Bobby Roode thing. There's 4 no disqualification matches. There's a King of Mountain match, Ultimate X Gauntlet match, Tag Team Ladder match, Clockwork Orange House of Fun 6-man tag team match. There is the Humiliation match, the Winner Takes All, Doomsday Chamber of Blood match, Barroom Brawl, number 1 contendership First Blood. There's a TNA World Tag Team title, winner becomes co-holder 4-way match. What a mouthful. A TNA World Tag Team number 1 contendership match, which essentially was a gauntlet for the gold, but it was a tag team thing. They did Abyss's career on the line in a 6 Sides of Steel cage match that was also a submission match. So that was a whole mess. 10-man gauntlet. No disqualification tag team, 6-man tag team match with special enforcer. There's a tag team Ultimate X, Fight for the Right tournament, reverse battle royal. There's a best 2 out of 3 tables tag team match, TNA women's knockout title gauntlet match, singles match with special enforcer, 4-way Monsters Ball, Shop of Horrors match, ladder match, 6-man tag team tables match, the Feast or Fired match, 10,000 tax match, 6-man tag team ladder match, Feast or Fired briefcase match, which was when Elix Skipper was the special referee, so it was a different match than the main one. And then they did it again when they did the Feast or Fired briefcase 4-way match. There's a Lumberjack match, the Christmas Chaos Cage match, the Double North Pole match, Santa's Workshop Knockout Street Fight, Silent Night Bloody Night 4-way match, and the Reindeer Ladder match.
That's exhausting.
We saw a lot of shit, dude. A lot of shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
that's why we're number 1, baby.
Dude, I just watching it all. It's pretty crazy. And when you write it down, it makes it even crazier.
All right, I bet.
Well, that all being said, we are closing the book officially on 2007. And we are going to kick off the first episode of 2008. And when we hit this play button, my peppermint mocha has gone through me faster than I have expected. So Bob will kick us off with the highlight package. And I will.
Well, and also, in case you're wondering, I'm starting 2008 with half of a high noon pineapple. We're starting